but be pulled by the truth. Be pulled by that still small voice. Be pulled by that curiosity in life, the adventure in life, the interest in life, the amazement, the awe of life. Be pulled by that. Don't be pulled by, I need to get happy. Right? So this country, if you're in the United States, I know there's a lot of people from other places, right? In this country, our Constitution says life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are our birthright. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are our birthright. And most people know that, even if you're not here. So there's this whole thing that happens. When we're very young, we start to learn this. We're indoctrinated. We're indoctrinated, basically. We're brainwashed into this idea. Now, hear me very clearly. For the Enlightenment period, I'm a history major from NYU, and the Enlightenment period was one of my big focuses when I graduated from NYU in history. So in the Enlightenment period is when this started, right? So man needed to find their independence, right? Man needed to find their own individuality, which is very important, incredibly important, right? So it's so important because before man was indoctrinated to the serf system, to class systems, and when you were born into a class, that was it. Boom, you were done. This is what you are. You're in the in the slave class. You're in the whatever class you're in, and that was what you were. That's what you were, right? So in the Enlightenment period, it was such a huge shift that man started to say, wait a second, hold on. It doesn't matter where you were born. You still have rights. First of all, you still have rights. This was a big leap for mankind, right? So the big leap for mankind, really, I mean, we've had a lot. I'm not going to get into a whole history lesson, but it was very important for man to stand up for themselves and saying, you know what? The slave is no worse or no better than the king, right? So I tell you all this because it's very important that we grow, that the human species is expanding and growing all the time, right? So when it came to building this country and making the Constitution, it was very influenced by these Enlightenment principles about egalite, fraternité, and which is from France, so much, that I'm a big Francophile. So much of American foundations are French from the Enlightenment period, from the salons at that time, right? You have to get the context here, right? So the French Revolution, the American Revolution, starting the Americas. And it was the great, this great way to have freedom that man didn't really have before, right? So that being said, it's put right into our Constitution that we can pursue happiness, right? Before, happiness was not even on the table. You didn't even think about happiness. No, people just were like, we do our job. This is what I do. I'm the blacksmith. I am the baker. I am the candlestick maker. I am the queen. This is it. This is what it is. That was your destiny of your life, right? And so you didn't even think about happiness. Really, people didn't think about happiness until the Enlightenment period. And then the mind starts going, aha, I can be happy. Aha, let's see here. And this is where it starts. So once again, there's nothing wrong with the pursuit of happiness. But hear me very, very clearly. Inherent in the pursuit of happiness, this idea, this grand idea of the pursuit of happiness, which was revolutionary for its time. We are the remnants. We are what is it called? Shoot. We take on all of those things. So we now subconsciously are pursuing happiness. The term pursuit of happiness inherently states you have to find it. You have to find happiness. You have to get to happiness. You have to grasp for happiness. You have to do something in order to get happy. Capiche? So what this does to the mind is it solidifies what the egoic mind says is that you can't be happy where you are. Because if you try to pursue happiness, first of all, you're not going to get it, because happiness is a byproduct. Everyone write that down if you're not writing right now. Happiness is a byproduct. You cannot attain happiness. So we're immediately kind of screwed because we're told we can pursue happiness. Even if logically you don't understand, you do understand that. Subconsciously, your ego's like, aha, this is great, because I'm going to keep searching for happiness. And it knows that you're not going to find it. Because if you look for happiness, you're inviting what? Unhappiness. It's typical duality. Typical duality states, if there's hot, there's cold. If there's happiness, there's unhappiness. Right? So, everyone thinking about this right now, I want you to realize that happiness is like what do I want to say? It's like catching a ghost. You can't catch a ghost. You're not going to be able to catch a ghost, right? A ghost is a byproduct of a dead person. Happiness is the byproduct of when you are in your flow. Happiness is the byproduct of when you are following your passion. It doesn't even have to be passion. It can be that still small voice for God, whatever happens to be. And then suddenly, happiness happens. When I was writing all my notes right here, it's so funny. I wrote, and I think this is a really good one. Hashtag happiness happens. You can't try to be happy. Well, you could try. You could do all you want to try to be happy. Good luck with that, because it's not going to happen. True happiness, and if something does happen where you're happy, it might just be a little pleasure, but I'm not sure if that's true happiness, in my opinion. You could disagree with me, I don't care. But if you're in pursuit of what you do, what feels right, of what's pulling you through your life, that thing, and then suddenly while you're doing that thing, you step back and you go, oh my God, I'm happy. Wow, I'm happy. I wonder why. Because you can't try to get happiness. It's not going to work. I'm sure there's many people here looking for happiness, but don't try to get it. Follow the flow. Shut up and listen. Listen to what is being called to you from deep inside of you that says, yeah, this thing. Do this, don't do that. Turn right, turn left, talk to that person. When you follow that internal guidance system, you cannot do anything but end up having happiness because you're following the flow. That's all there is to it. So think about this for a moment. If you're trying to get happiness, you have to stop. Just stop. And many times it's in the stop that you might even discover that you're already happy. You might even discover that you don't need to pursue any happiness because actually you're pretty okay. Why do I need to do anything? But the egoic mind has convinced you that this isn't good enough. And so that gets you on that rat race of Dorothy running down the yellow brick road, looking for the heart, looking for the brains, looking for the courage. When, and I say this all the time, when she never had to go anywhere because she already had the shoes, she just had to look down. So pursuing happiness is something that is so deeply ingrained in our culture that you have to. All these things, look throughout history. Look at these things that have been ingrained through cultures, not just ours, every culture, that you have to like stop and look and go, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing that? Because a whole bunch of people told me I'm supposed to? And then stop. And you don't have to get on social media to talk about this. You just have to have an honest discussion with yourself and say, wait a second, do I know? Because I will guarantee you, and a lot of people come to me to work with me that have been on this roller coaster of pursuing happiness, and they're done. But then they don't know what to do. And that could be you right now. You know what? In a way, I hope it is. Because it's that point when you start to wake up. And you start to go, oh, I get the game that's been going on. So the pursuit of happiness is a lie. It's a lie. Don't believe it. Do what your heart is telling you. Follow that internal guidance system. And then happiness will just happen. Just don't even think about happiness. That's my feeling. I think we're obsessed with happiness. I think that our culture is obsessed with being happy. Forget the fucking being happy. Just forget it. We're so culturalized into trying to be happy. It's ridiculous. And this culture, the American culture, more than any other culture, you go to other places and they're like, who cares about being happy? I'm just living my life. Right? They're not so obsessed with being happy. Don't be obsessed with being happy. Be obsessed about the truth. Not obsessed, that's not a good word. But be pulled by the truth. Be pulled by that still small voice. Be pulled by that the curiosity in life. The adventure in life. The interest in life. The amazement, the awe of life. Be pulled by that. Don't be pulled by, I need to get happy. Because if I'm not happy, why do you think there's so many depressed people? Why do you think there's so many people with anxiety? I guarantee you, so much of it comes back to this root thing that we are taught you are supposed to be happy. And if you're not happy, something's wrong with you. So you better get the fuck happy. But I do love the Pharrell song, Happy.